Once back in the time of the judges, 3 generations before King David, a man named Elimelech was forced to move his wife Naomi and his 2 sons, Chilion and Mahlon, from Bethlehem to Moab because of an awful famine. Years pass and Elimelech dies, leaving his wife and 2 sons. Sometime after, the sons both marry Moabite women, one named Ruth and the other named Orpah. Before conceiving any children, both sons die. Naomi hears of a great amount of food in her homeland of Bethlehem and decides to go back alone.
Go, my daughters, back to your father's homes where you can be provided for and have the chance to remarry. Don't worry about me.
How am I not going to worry about you, Mother? We will stay and protect you.
Ruth, we have to go back to our fathers. If we don't provide heirs for our families, we'll be disappointments. Come with me.
Listen to your sister, Ruth.
No, it's my decision to stay, and I'm not going.
Fine. Orpah returns to her father's home as Naomi instructed, but Ruth is stubborn and insists on accompanying her mother-in-law on her journey. The two reach Bethlehem and are welcomed by the whole town.
Can this be Naomi?
Don't call me Naomi, call me Mara, for the Lord has made me bitter.
It was the beginning of the barley harvest, and in order to support herself and Naomi, Ruth decides to glean the fields. The field she is gleaning in happens to be owned by a distant relative of Elimelech who goes by the name of Boaz. Boaz sees the strange woman, and he asks his servant who she is. Then he confronts her. Aren't you Ruth, Naomi's daughter-in-law?
Yes, and are you?
I'm Boaz. Listen, do not go and glean in anyone else's fields, for I'll provide for you.
And why should I trust you?
I know what you did for Naomi, and I'll reward you for your actions.
Oh, thank you.
Ruth continues to glean in Boaz's field until the end of the barley harvest. At the end of each day, Boaz brings Ruth and the other servants food. They have a small feast together, and Ruth returns to Naomi with the leftovers.
At home, Naomi questions Ruth and asks if she sees Boaz as a potential husband and gives advice to her on ways to present herself to him and make him interested.
Ruth takes Naomi's advice and goes to lay at Boaz's feet once he falls asleep. When Boaz wakes up, he is very pleased that Ruth is there. He tells Ruth to leave before anybody sees her.
Oh, did you guys hear? Naomi's putting a piece of her land up for sale, but you have to take care of Ruth as well.
No thanks.
We don't want her.
You be the redeemer. Do you, Ruth, take Boaz to be your husband?
I do.
Do you, Boaz, take Ruth to be your wife?
I do.
You may kiss the bride. Ruth and Boaz conceived a child and named him Obed. These are the descendants of Perez. Perez was the father of Hezron. Hezron was the father of Ram. Ram was the father of Aminadab. Aminadab was the father of Nahshon. Nahshon was the father of Salma. Salma was the father of Boaz. Boaz was the father of Obed. And Obed was the father of Jesse. And Jesse became the father of David.